Imagine you have a pair of headphones with one side suddenly silent. You could buy a new pair in 5 minutes online. Or you could walk into a community room on a Saturday afternoon, sit down with a stranger, open the headphones carefully, and learn how to bring them back to life. That second option is the world of repair cafes. They are not cafes in the usual sense, although some do offer tea and biscuits. A repair cafe is a community event where volunteers help people fix everyday items: clothes, small appliances, electronics, toys, bicycles, even lamps and wooden furniture. The atmosphere is calm, practical, and surprisingly social. People arrive carrying things that are broken, but also carrying stories. Today, we're exploring why repair cafes are quietly spreading across different countries, what happens inside them, and why this simple idea matters more than you might think. This is not just about saving money or avoiding waste. It's also about skills, confidence, and a different relationship with the objects we depend on. Let's start with a basic question. Why do so many things break, and why do we replace them so quickly? In the past, household items were often designed to be repaired. A radio had screws you could remove. A bicycle had standard parts. Clothes were stitched with the expectation that a button would come off and be sewn back on. Repair wasn't a special hobby. It was a normal part of daily life. Now, many products are cheap enough that replacement feels easier than repair. And even when the item is expensive, repair can be complicated. Devices might be sealed with glue instead of screws. Replacement parts might be unavailable. Some brands restrict access to manuals or software. So, a small problem, like a worn-out battery or a damaged cable, can send an entire device to a drawer and eventually to a landfill. Repair cafes challenge this pattern in a very direct way. They say, before you throw it away, let's at least look inside. If you've never been to one, here's what a typical repair cafe looks like. You enter a local library, community center, school hall, or even a church basement. There are tables organized by category: textiles, electronics, bikes, maybe computers. Volunteers sit with toolkits, sewing kits, and boxes of spare parts. There's usually a welcome desk where someone registers your item and guides you to the right table. You wait your turn, often chatting with other visitors who are holding toasters, jackets, or wobbly chairs. When it's your turn, you don't simply hand the item over like at a repair shop. The whole idea is collaborative. The volunteer will ask questions. When did it stop working? Did it make a sound? Was it dropped? Has it been exposed to water? Then they might open it with you watching, explaining what they're doing and why. Sometimes the fix is simple: a loose connection, a broken zipper slider, a button that needs replacing, a bicycle brake that needs adjustment. Sometimes it's more complex, and the volunteer will be honest. It might not be repairable here, or it may need a specialized part, but even then, you usually leave with new understanding. You learn the name of a component, or what to ask for in a shop, or how to prevent the same problem in the future. What makes repair cafes so powerful is that they turn repair into something public and normal again. Instead of being a lonely struggle at home with a confusing online tutorial, it becomes a shared experience. Now let's talk about the people who volunteer at repair cafes. Who are they? They are often retired engineers, hobbyists, tailors, bicycle enthusiasts, and people who simply enjoy solving problems. Many say they volunteer because they like working with their hands, but also because they miss feeling useful in a tangible way. In modern work, it's easy to feel that your effort disappears into emails and meetings. At a repair cafe, you tighten a bolt and immediately see the result. But repair cafes are not just about experts helping beginners. They are also places where knowledge moves in all directions. A teenager might teach an older volunteer something about a newer gadget. A visitor might mention a clever trick they learned from a relative. And sometimes the best repair is a creative workaround rather than a perfect factory solution. There's also an interesting emotional side to repair. People don't bring in objects only because they want to save money. They bring items that matter. A lamp from a grandparent, a jacket worn on a memorable trip, a toy that a child refuses to abandon. When you repair something, you protect a story. This emotional attachment is often underestimated. We live in a culture that encourages constant upgrading, as if the newest version automatically equals a better life. Repair cafes offer a different message. The value of an object is not only in its price or its novelty, but also in its usefulness and meaning. Let's shift to the environmental side for a moment, because it's significant. When we talk about waste, many people picture plastic bottles or food packaging, but electronic waste in particular is one of the fastest growing waste streams in the world. Phones, laptops, small kitchen devices, and cables contain metals and materials that require energy-intensive mining and processing. Throwing them away isn't just losing an object, it's losing the resources and labor embedded in it. Repair cafes don't solve the entire problem, of course. They are small, local events, but they do something important. They make the concept of waste visible. When you sit at a table and see that your broken toaster might be repaired with a simple replacement spring, you realize how unnecessary some waste can be. They also support a mindset that can influence purchasing decisions. People who attend repair cafes often become more careful consumers. They might ask, is this item repairable? Are parts available? Is it built to last? These questions push back against a disposable culture. In some places, repair cafes connect with a larger movement, sometimes called the right to repair. This is the idea that consumers should have access to the tools, parts, and information needed to fix what they own, without being blocked by manufacturers. Different countries and regions are debating laws related to this, especially for electronics. Repair cafes are not political events in a loud way, but they are quietly political in practice. They demonstrate that repair is possible, and they create community support for it. Still, repair cafes have limits, and it's worth being realistic. First, safety. Volunteers are careful, but they cannot guarantee repairs like a professional shop might. If you repair an electrical device, you need to check it properly, and some items may be refused if they are considered too risky. Second, complexity. Some modern devices are genuinely difficult to repair. Tiny components, sealed cases, proprietary parts, and software locks can stop even skilled volunteers. Third, time and capacity. A repair cafe might operate only once a month. Volunteers might be overwhelmed if too many people arrive at once, and sometimes repairs require parts that are not available on the spot. But here is the surprising part. Even when repair cafes don't fix everything, they still succeed. They succeed because they change how people think. A failed repair can still be educational. A visitor might learn how to diagnose a problem, or how to search for a spare part, or where to find a local specialist. And perhaps most importantly, they experience the idea that broken does not automatically mean worthless. Let's make this even more practical. If you ever attend a repair cafe, how can you get the most out of it? First, bring context. If possible, explain when the problem started and what happened around that time. Details matter. Second, bring accessories. For electronics, bring the charger or cable. For lamps, bring the bulb if it's relevant. For devices, bring any detachable parts. Third, be patient and curious. Ask questions. If the volunteer uses a tool you don't recognize, ask what it is. If they test something, ask what the result means. The event is not only a service, it's a learning opportunity. Fourth, accept that not everything can be fixed. Sometimes the most valuable outcome is a clear explanation of why it failed and what to look for next time. Now, zooming out, what do repair cafes teach us about communities? They remind us that modern life can be very individual. If your chair breaks, it's your problem. If your phone stops charging, it's your problem. Repair cafes turn private problems into shared challenges. They create small moments of cooperation that don't require deep personal connection, just practical kindness. They also create a kind of local resilience. When people know how to fix things, they are less dependent on constant replacement and long supply chains. That matters during disruptions, when parts are delayed or prices rise. And there's something else. Learning to repair builds confidence. Many people feel intimidated by tools or electronics. They assume they'll make things worse. But when you watch someone open a device carefully, explain the steps, and succeed, the fear becomes smaller. The next time something breaks, you might try a simple check instead of instantly replacing it. In that sense, Repair Cafe don't just fix objects, they repair a relationship, the relationship between people and the material world. So the next time something stops working, pause before you throw it away. Ask yourself, is it truly finished? Or is it simply waiting for someone to take a closer look? If you have a repair cafe near you, consider visiting. Even if you don't bring anything broken, you might learn something useful. You might meet someone who can sew a perfect stitch or diagnose a faulty switch by sound alone. And you may leave with a different attitude, less wasteful, more capable, and a little more connected to the people around you. Thanks for listening to Kuma English Listening Hub. If you enjoyed this episode, listen again and focus on the transitions, the cause and effect language, and the vocabulary related to repair and sustainability. And as a challenge, try explaining in English how one object in your home works and what could cause it to fail. That's a powerful way to build both language and understanding. See you in the next listening practice.